for Lori and Friends provided by Waste Management. Think green, think Waste Management.
Hello and welcome to Lori and Friends. I have a longtime friend with me. This is John Dimino. He's with me. And you're just here because you're a cook.
Yep.
I mean, and well, because you're part of the Dimino family who's been like almost family to me. Tops has been my food sponsor for 17 years, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to have you on.
Before my father, yeah.
Yeah, before your father. Absolutely. Your grandfather was my original sponsor, and your grandmother's been on the show. Uh-huh. Your grandmother was on the show, outraged that I didn't have the right kind of mix master, and the next day a beautiful KitchenAid showed up for me so that she wouldn't be embarrassed when she came on again. That's what she told me, and you know your grandmother. Mm-hmm. So, of course, this was tough for me to explain because when I went and did my show shopping last night, I saw your dad, and he said, "Who's coming on? Why would he get on and not me?" So I had to say, well, it was, because I like you, and I've basically seen you grow up at the store. How old were you when you first started to work there?
I think I was 14. Did carts. I used to work back in the old store. We used to do bottle returns. I used to do the bottle returns. You got to do it by hand. Everything, count every plastic bottle, every can. I used to do the register there at the old Tops in Lewiston. I was probably not legally, but probably like 10 years old doing it.
Well, no, because when it's your family business, you're allowed to do that sort of stuff. So, I would say that I used to see you working there when you were that young.
But officially, I started when I was 15.
And you did carts.
Carts.
So you've basically done everything there, right?
I've done every job in the store. I've done it.
Well, that's important, don't you think?
Yeah.
So that you know how to, and your dad grew up doing the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. So it does make sense. And now they've moved you out of the store.
Yes, at the Tops Gas Station Express.
Are you the manager over there?
Yes.
Ooh. And since you've been here and said you were from and this is really convenient for me, having the Tops gas station in Lewiston now, okay? Because I get points like you can't imagine. I'm in there every day. People think I work there. And I'm constantly getting up the points. But Mrs. Williams was here, my associate producer, and she had all sorts of questions for you, didn't she? I mean, you'd think that job over there would be easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
You'd think that swipe the card, you have 60 cents. Do you want to redeem it? Yes. And yet there are some people that have problems with that, right? People like Mrs. Williams, that you're going to have to go out there the next time she comes.
We're glad to help anyone that comes in.
Well, that's the right answer. Yeah. That's the right answer. You may want to make a little note, too, in case you're not there, okay? Yeah. That if they see her in her car pulling up, to just, this one needs special help. Well, there's always, you have other things there, too. Isn't it like a little convenience store?
Yeah, it's a little convenience store. We have the Tim Hortons coffee there. We have we just put in subs, salads, so we have kind of lunch items. We have like convenience store items like eggs, milk, bread, drinks, anything that you would really need just to run in, run out. You don't have to go into the store. You can be out in 2 minutes instead of going in the line, waiting 5 minutes. And so it's real convenient. A lot of people love it, so it's very...
Yes, for people like Mrs. Williams, she's there getting her gas, she needs to run in, she needs to carry beer in that place too.
Beer too.
Okay, just in case. I just needed to know that. You're making...
Ricotta gnocchi.
Ricotta gnocchi.
Yes, very simple. This is a lot of people, they buy the gnocchi from in the frozen section, but really you could make these, it only takes probably 10 minutes to really make the dough and put in the water. Really, it's real simple, and a lot of times you get the gnocchi like the store. It's people are used to like the real firm, like almost like rocks, but these are going to be really soft. They should just melt in your mouth. That's how they should be.
Well, if you make gnocchis with potatoes, they're going to be heavier.
Yeah.
You get them into any of the restaurants and they're making them with potatoes. You make them with the ricotta, and I've had these before. They are a lot lighter.
Yeah, I make them both ways, but this is just an easy, simple recipe. So.
Where'd you get this recipe from?
I kind of found it on I do a lot of read books, and online I found the recipe. So
you really like cooking, don't you?
Pretty much, I've been cooking since I was really young. No one ever really, I kind of all like self-taught. So watch a lot of cooking shows. If you ask my mother, she's like, all he did when he was younger was watch cooking shows, and I used to experiment when I was 8 or 9 years old making things.
Yeah, I never did that. No, I just wanted other people to cook for me. That's what you're here for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Start your
So this is a really
gnocchi.
simple recipe. So basically about 4 ingredients. So 1 pound of regatta. This is whole milk, but
Yeah, that's the kind. I would only use that. I only use the whole milk one. I think that anything else is kind of watery. Don't you find that?
yeah,
Yeah.
I like the full fat, full
Yeah.
flavor.
Well, you need this. You know. Lose your calories somewhere else.
And then
Okay.
just 1 cup. It's like a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 cup of flour to 1 pound of regatta. So just that. And then I use 2 eggs. I think I got a little shell in there. But I'm gonna take that out. I just beat them up a little bit
Okay.
in there.
If this were a real cooking show, you know, like on the Food Network, you'd have done that in
Yeah,
a
I
little,
probably would have had it in a little thing.
right, a little container, and you'd have whipped it up and then thrown it in.
And then
But
I'm
this is real life here, okay? Why would you waste another bowl? Come on. Home economics would teach me. Open your egg in a custard cup just in case there's something wrong with the egg. I don't think that I've ever had anything wrong with any of the eggs that I've opened, you know?
And then this is just a little Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. It's gonna grate a little bit.
You have one of these Pampered Chef things too? Man, I love mine.
Just a little bit.
So you're putting it right in the dough. Okay.
Just to give it a little flavor.
This is a little something that you're
And then-
doing differently. Salt and pepper.
A little salt and pepper.
I could have actually gotten you the big things of pepper, so you could have, like, who you scaring with that, right? But that's okay.
Now, I could do this with my hands too, but you kind of just want to knead it together just a little bit.
You could do it with a mix master too. I could have brought out my KitchenAid with the, you know, like the dough hook on it or something like that. Do a lot of cooking at home now?
I don't really have the time anymore. I used to cook all the time, but I have 2 jobs now, so it's kind of like I do it when on my days off. That's what I like to do. I like to cook things.
You
So.
like to cook. You need more flour in there, don't you think? No?
I'm gonna test it a little bit. You want it to be kind of a little sticky.
Okay. Who do you watch on the Food Network?
I like Mario Batali.
I was going to say Malto Mario. Him I'll watch. You know, some
Bobby
of them,
Flay.
yeah,
I watch a lot of like Top Chef, things like that too.
the competition type
Yeah,
stuff. I watch those things, and I can't imagine why anybody would want to work in one of those top kitchens. It just looks like abuse.
It's. I've actually worked in a restaurant kitchen before, and it's not. It's a really hard lifestyle. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine why anybody would want to do that.
I'm gonna add a little bit of
I
flour
think
to
you
it.
need more flour.
A
in
little
this.
bit.
It's just. But see, this is the thing about, you know, cooking, is that you'll know when it's the right consistency. I had a little Italian grandmother and a big German grandmother, and neither of them, when I got their recipes, gave me cups. They would be like, add enough flour. Add enough flour. So, and what they did is, because you're adding it a little at a time, you're not gunking it up, you're not making it dry. And whenever you'd make cookies that way, and with my one German grandmother, it was always just add enough flour
Yeah.
so that she'd touch them, you know. And with my other grandmother, it was you wouldn't measure anything.
What did she make?
She made
Like-
molasses cookies.
Did she make like spetzel or anything like that?
She made Kugans.
Kugan. What's
Yeah,
Kugan?
but Kugan is like a coffee cake
Oh,
with all those.
my mother would know all about that.
You know, she'd make Kugan with the cherries, not the real cherries, the candied cherries. She'd make those sorts of things. Fruits and nuts go in a Kugan, and it had like a top, like that kind of. You know what I'm talking about at home. One of those kind of tops on it. It's not a fruit cake. Kim is yelling fruit cake, and it's not a fruit cake because it's German, and it's
German fruitcake.
not a German. It's more like a German coffee cake. But you use yeast, and yeast is not my friend. Yeast has never been my friend, so I don't make them.
So I made the dough. It looks
This
a
is
little
good. Gotta show it to Mark.
It looks real sticky, but that's how it's really supposed to be.
Move it around so people can see what it's actually like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little pliable. But you could either, I kind of cheat the next step. You could make it like the traditional way, like get a little dough and roll it out like in the nice dowels, cut them, put the little ridges on there. But I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do it in a piping bag. I just got this from the bakery, from the Tops. And this is really probably the simplest way to make it.
Do you have a thing on the end of it?
No.
You're just going to cut it?
You just cut it off.
I don't use a lot of pastry bags because they look like they're more problems than they're worth. You obviously like the pastry bag idea. Cleanup's easier?
Yeah. Well, if I had a little pair of scissors, I'll just cut it. Now you could roll, you could do like that, cut them. You could do it ahead of time, really, too. Just get a little flour and roll it, if you really wanted to. But the way I do it is, I basically make the dough and then I'll show you how I do it, so it's easier.
All right.
All right.
Well, this is new for me. I haven't been in any kind of big Italian restaurants where I've seen them doing pastry bags like this. It's kind of a neat idea, though, John. I'll give you that.
So that's that. And you could, if you really wanted to, you could pipe them out like that and like get some flour and roll them and do that. But I'm going to do it like right into the
Oh, so I've got to make sure that it's... Is it boiling yet? Did you put salt in there?
Not yet. Well, in the meantime, I'll have that water boiling. I can start the other part.
The sauce
The
for
sauce
it?
for it. I'm just going to put probably, let's see, probably like 3/4 of the stick of butter.
I got to start it.
All right. You can put it just on low for now. And then we're just going to get the butter. You just want to get it melted and you want to get it nice and brown. That's what we're going to do.
We're going to brown the butter. Okay.
Almost like getting like the holiday flavors here. So, and then just sage. That's all I'm going to add to it. I'm going to chop it up a little bit.
You want scissors?
No, this is good.
Okay.
Hands are best tools.
All right. Do you clean up, too?
I do clean up.
Okay, good.
But my mother usually yells at me because I usually make a terrible mess
Oh, lovely.
in the
Maybe
kitchen.
this
But
should
I
have
always
all-
clean up though.
Maybe this should have all been explained to me before he came on.
She hates when my brother is he likes to cook too, and she hates when we cook because we cooked the Christmas dinner the last 2 years,
Oh, did you?
and she likes us cooking, but
Now,
she
what
doesn't
would
like,
you make for Christmas dinner?
like what do we made a turkey last year. We made beef short ribs. We made like a ratatouille, which is like a vegetable like medley.
Yes.
We made gnocchi like this, risotto. Just like your typical holiday food, I guess. So I just chopped up the sage a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wait till this gets brown a little bit, and then I usually just throw it in at the end.
Okay.
Just to get a little brown. Like you don't want to throw it really early, so I just throw it in really at the end. So
All right.
Just a little.
Well, this is
sizzle to
probably
it.
a good time. I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
As our water is boiling, and you throw the salt in the water to both season the water with salt, and it helps it to boil faster. Those people in the peanut gallery needed to know that question. That came to me as a question.
Yeah,
from
and
the
it
peanut gallery.
raises the boiling point of the water.
So that's one of the reasons that you
I
do
just,
it.
I mean, mostly for flavors too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So when we come back, we're going to see John actually piping the ricotta gnocchi in there, and then with your butter sauce, and I can't wait to try this.
All right.
We'll be right back with more Lori and Friends. Welcome back to Lori and Friends. I have John with me here. We're making ricotta gnocchis with a butter sauce. I cannot wait. These things smell wonderful. Everything looks great. How are they coming?
Good.
So what he's done is he's put together a pound of ricotta with a cup of flour, a little salt and pepper, 2 eggs.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Some Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan
Probably
cheese.
a little more than a cup of flour. You kind of have to kind of feel it out. More like probably a cup and a quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he mixed them up and he put them in a pastry bag.
Pastry bag. And then I cut off the tip.
So that he's going to go, and instead of cutting up your gnocchis with flour, which makes them a little heavier, this should make them lighter.
Yeah.
So you've got a pot of boiling water.
Yep.
And you're going to start. You start anytime you want.
I'm just going to put, I just basically just pipe it out, and then I kind of use a knife and just cut it like that.
Don't get burnt. I only have so much homeowner's insurance.
They take probably like 3, when they start floating, that's kind of when you know when they're getting there.
You're right. These do go together pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of the butter sauce, in your...
Yeah, it's a classic Italian.
But let's
just
face
butter
it,
sage.
you could put an Alfredo sauce
Oh yeah,
on it.
pesto would be perfect for the summer. Mm-hmm. Or you can use a fresh tomato sauce.
You can do it in 2 batches if you want.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
That's fine. Just like you were home.
And then I got this butter sauce. It's kind of getting...
Too brown?
No, it's getting good. You don't want it to burn. Obviously, you don't want it to burn, but you have to watch it.
Okay.
You'll start seeing like the...
Okay, when you said you could make your gnocchis ahead of time, you
Yeah.
make your gnocchis, but you don't cook them ahead of time. You do them like this.
Yeah, you could do it this way, or you can make the little things and cut them. And make the little...
But you don't want to boil them and save them because
you
then
could,
they get too...
you could do it. There's a way you could do it that way. You can make them ahead of time, boil them, and if you had to make them in a few hours, you can take them, throw them in some ice water, just to shock them, and then they'll stop cooking, and then come back, laying them out like a tray or something, like a tray of like a cookie tray with some parchment or something, and then have them and just throw them back in the water real quick just to get them the temperature, and then throw them with your sauce. So you could make them ahead of time.
Now, as the peanut gallery was asking me, gnocchis or gnocchis?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchis?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchis? Well, Mrs. Williams was saying ganakis, but then again, she
Ganakis,
also
yeah.
says,
Regatta.
said tusamis.
Oh.
Which is, I make fun of her so much for saying that I went out and said that somewhere, which, then I'm in the same class.
Tusami.
Tusamis. Those poor people that were victims of the tusamis.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you get used to them. They're called Kimisms after a while. Yeah, this is the same woman who's driving home from me and says, I have a new mouse in my house because she gets these mice in her house. And that says, this one looks like it's a different nationality than the other one. Okay? To which you got to be fast, folks.
The what?
Yeah,
The
different
mouse has
nationality. So I
mice?
said, would that be the difference between Toco Gigio and Speedy Gonzales? I didn't know.
It's like that. There's that movie, American Tail. You ever see it?
Yeah.
The Disney movie. They come
That
from
would
Russia.
Okay, they would
have
be
the
Russian
Russian mice.
mice. I don't know what hers. I really didn't know. And then I think she meant what species.
Yeah.
I don't think she necessarily meant
Yeah, they came.
nationalities.
Yeah.
But but there is. You think of Toco Gigio. And then you think of Speedy Gonzales, big ears. Everybody looked a little different.
I got the butter nice and brown.
Okay.
I'm gonna add the sage to it.
Okay.
Chopped sage. You're gonna hear a little fizzle.
You can lean it up and show the folks at home what it looks like.
A little, you're gonna see a lot of foam in the suds. So, but that's that. And
They're floating.
they're floating. So they should be done. So what I do is I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna put them right into the pan. Get a little sear to them. So.
Smells so good. You just kind of coat them. Yeah. Do you need more butter?
No, that should be good.
See, the only person I ever watch is like Paula Deen,
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like just butter.
She would have had probably
butter.
2 sticks of butter.
Well, and is there anything really wrong with that? Think about it. You talked about having 2 jobs in cooking, so you're the manager over at the new gas portion of Tops, but you're working at Hops and Vines.
Newest bar in Lewiston.
It's a lounge.
Lounge.
It's a lounge.
It's kind of, a lounge. Has a nice, quiet atmosphere, like nice dark tones, and like somewhere you can just go down, have a drink. You don't have to hear loud music, but we do have music. So, but it's kind of like go there. We have good wines, good beers, and good. We make cocktails, martinis. We have fine whiskeys. So everything that you would want in like a nice bar, like a nice lounge setting. We have it. So.
It's at 490 Center Street. It's the bottom portion of the building where Casa Antica is at.
And we do food with Casa. We have a nice like appetizer menu with them, kind of like their specialties: rice balls, stuffed peppers, pizzas. So you kind of have a glass of wine and have some stuffed peppers that go together perfect. So yeah.
You had some nice. I'm trying to think of what did we have when I was there with your aunt Anne Marie. I don't think I had a Shiraz. I had something else. I had something very, very simple.
Yeah.
Raspberry beer.
Yeah, you had some sort of blueberry beer or something?
Blueberry? Yeah, EBC blueberry. So it's myself and 2 of my friends have started this business. My friend Kurt and Chris. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right there. You are a busy guy.
Yeah.
You going to plate this for me?
Got some up there.
I'm
I got
gonna
a
get fork.
nice and brown. I'm going to plate it. And I'm just going to come back, hit it with a little
Grated cheese.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
You notice me, I can't wait to get into it. That's
just...
Oh, they're so light, John. They're probably so hot, too. Yeah, they're very hot. Oh, God, that's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going in for another one. Well, it's my house.
Yeah.
Normally if this were the Food Network, I wouldn't double dip, but, I don't care. Very, very good. Here, make the rest of them.
All right.
Because the crew here is going to want these. I like the fact, show them again, the piping into there. Because look at how easy this was. Instead of the flour, putting the whole thing together. They're so light, folks. I like the way that he's prepared it. Could go with a small salad.
Yeah.
And, just some bread. Well, actually, this is a starch. You don't even need bread. You could do one of those caprese salads with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it's very, very rustic, the recipe. So.
It's very
But that's-
true Italian.
yeah.
It is.
Very simple. I think I use, 5, maybe 4 or 5 ingredients, really. So.
Very, very light. Here, I'll try it again, just in case I got some bad ones the first time. Really like this. Even you could make this at home. And as soon as I get my act together and get my website back up, I've just been bad lately, folks. We know this. Anybody who's tried writing to me in the past knows that I'm like this. Use a whole stick there, babe, okay? We're going to eat these. My God, they're so good. Okay, don't anybody touch these. These are for mine for lunch.
All right.
I didn't even feel good this morning. These make me feel great.
It's a perfect breakfast food. Yeah.
It is. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for coming on. No, continue to cook,
All right,
okay?
okay.
Because I'm going to want these. You can catch him down at Tops, my sponsor, down there in Lewiston, and at Hops and Vines.
Yeah.
So he's a busy guy. Thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us. Little butter, little sage. Just that's it. It browns on its own. Just lightly brown. Don't burn
don't
the
burn
butter.
it.
Don't.
I have it
burn
on
the
probably.
butter.
I usually start on low and just let it go real slow, so it doesn't burn.
What an absolutely easy thing to. I'm going to try one more.
All right.
Absolutely easy thing to do for a great summer meal, but actually anytime. This is just one of these things you could come home and make this for your family. Thank you so much. It wasn't
Thank you.
difficult, was it?
No.
Kind of like your own cooking show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my own cooking show. But I don't cook. Thank you for joining us this week and every week. And we'll see you next week on Lori and Friends. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Gosh, that's good.
I'm having another one.
Kim, you should try this.
You're not just saying that, are you?
No!
Oh, okay.
No, I really like
Saying
it.
it to be nice.
I'm gonna actually try and make that at home too, because that looks so easy.
That was so easy. Do you have a pastry bag like that?
I have one on my door, yes.
Just go to ask the bakery.
disposable,
Right?
you don't have to clean
Yeah.
it. Although I did wash
I know
mine out.
people. I know people at the bakery at Tops. I could probably simply say to them, you know.
But they don't know.
Yeah, they didn't know me yesterday.
Funding for Lori and Friends provided by Waste Management. Think green, think waste management.